Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back for another Q&A session. So this Q&A session has been a bit delayed, right? Because I've posted this 3 days before the end of the month, right? So I decided to give you guys a bit more time to send in your questions, right? And then here it is, the Q&A session, right? So we have a few interesting questions this month, right? So without further ado, let's get it started. Alright, so first question of the day comes from Eddie, asking what do you think of old collaboration cards? Like Monster Strike, the older they get, the less we're going to see them in the current meta, right? Which is true. Right, okay, so especially a lot of powerful cards being released, do you think there is a chance Matt will touch those cards ever again? If not, they will eventually only be valuable as collections, right? So first and foremost, this is not up to Matt to decide to bring back old collab cards or not, because when they do collaboration, there is a certain contract they have to do with the other company, right? For example, like the current King of Fighters, right, is under SNK, right? So once the contract ends, they are not allowed to touch those cards ever again, right? If this, to my knowledge, right? So cards like B-Dub, we have the Xuan Yuan Sword, we have the Chinese Paladin. Those are collaboration cards as well, right? So once the contract is end, they are never ever coming back again, right? Which is why we'll see them as pretty much as a collectible as of now, unless they recontract, right? Which is pretty much unlikely, right? The only time that Mahit ever recontracted something was Yanxi, right? So so far for the rest of the collaborations, no, right? So as far as collaboration cards are concerned, I don't think they will ever be coming back unless Mahit recontracts with that company, right? So I think that's all. That's your question here, right? So with that, let's move on to the next one. Right, so next question comes from Sean, asking, I feel that ESL Chai and Ieyasu team is not on par with the current mainstream teams out there. Do you think that they receive more attention from Meta in the near future? And what do you think of this team, and how would you farm a team with these two cards? Alright, so as I addressed in the previous question, right, this is one of the collaboration cards as well. Right, so I'm not sure whether the Pili Puppet contract has ended. Alright, they didn't mention that it's never ever coming back again, so maybe they will re-release it somewhere, right? Maybe with amelioration or what, right? Who knows, right? So I think that their playstyle is pretty much okay, right? There's nothing wrong with their playstyle. Maybe it lacks a bit of burst damage, right? Because we've seen they are more towards a dragon novelist kind of playstyle, right? Whereby ESL Chai will absorb all the human attack, and then he's the only one launching damage, right? So this, of course, compared to other team or other metas out there, doesn't seem too powerful unless you on the Ieyasu active skill, right? So different kind of playstyle, right? I don't think you can actually compare it, right? They will be more towards the dragon playstyle, right? Like novelist and stuff like that, right? So it's more fair if you compare it to novelist and the ESL Chai and Ieyasu gameplay, right? So to answer the question at the back, right? How you form a team with these two cards, right? So basically, if there is, it depends whether the stage have neutralized reset or not, right? So if there is neutralized reset, I will typically bring two ESL Chai, because upon neutralized reset of one, you can just straight on activate the other one, right? And then I would bring two Ieyasus, right? It's the same as bringing two Ursulas, right? Like the double burst and stuff like that makes the stage a lot easier and a lot faster to clear as well, right? So two Ieyasu, two ESL Chai, right? So you're left with the two, one more light card and one more dark card, right? Basically, I'll put Novia Cliff, right? From the Clash of King collaboration. Right, so if you guys do not have that, you can actually slot in maybe GD or any dark cards, to be honest, right? Dark Human would be more ideal, right? For the light, I would say Magni and Mogni. That's the best light card you can actually slot in for ESL Chai and Ieyasu team, right? Alternatively, you can put in Catherine or Nathaniel, the PR starters, right? These two cards work as well. So this is pretty much like the kind of cards that you can mix and match and play around with the gameplay, right? So do try those setup and let me know. Alright, so next question. Alright, so next question asks, do you think Madhead should implement some sort of safety net for limited seals, like exchanging 3 jackpot cards for 1 jackpot of your choice? Alright, and then second question asking, what do you think of Madhead? What do you think Madhead can do to improve the gaming experience for existing as well as new players? Right, so to answer your first question, right, a safety net is unlikely. Right, so other than wanting the players to enjoy the game as much as possible, right, they ultimately is still a game company, right? They're out there to earn money, right? So, of course, when players are spending diamond, that's where their money comes in, right? So, I think I see where your concern is coming from. Like, example, there's 3 jackpot cards and you keep getting 2 of it, and then you're just not getting that one last jackpot card, right? I know how that feels. Right, it happens to me during the King of Fighter draw, whereby I wanted to draw an extra mine and mine doesn't come out. Like, I keep getting Iori and I keep getting Kyo. So yeah, that's the kind of feeling, right? So I don't think they will ever do that, right? But in any case, if they do, right, I'll be very surprised, right? So to answer your second question, what can Madhead do to improve the gaming experience? Right, so for existing members, for existing players, right, I don't think there's much of an issue. Right, I think everything is very, very good in terms of gameplay and stuff like that. We have brand new story modes, we have new seals coming up soon. Right, everything is very good. Right, so what I feel that they can improve for new players though, right, is the front field seals. Right, so I have not actually announced yet, but I actually play a bit of the traditional Chinese server side, right, of TOS, just to go the free-to-play path over there. Right, so what I find, it's not about the free-to-play part, but as I journey through all the seals again, I find it very, very boring. Right, like when you're playing from the first seal, Saruman, all the way to Michael Lucifer, there's not much of a story that is being told to you, as well as not much lore given to you as well. Right, so basically you go to the water, fire, earth, light, dark island, and then the tower, and then you repeat the whole cycle again for the second seal, the third seal, the fourth seal. Right, so it's kind of a grindy progress, and that's the first few stages that new players have to attempt before they kind of reach like Gemsa or Yog-Sothoth, whereby the lore starts coming in. Right, so personally, I feel very drained out, right, like trying to repeat the cycle over and over again, right, because you can't really touch the Lost Relic because of the difficulty issue, right? So mainly new players are there to just clear the seal and stuff like that, so it gets boring, I feel, in my opinion, right? So let me know how you guys feel, right, about the front few stages. I find that it's very repetitive and there's not much info or story given to you at that point of time, right? So I think Madhead can actually do a revamp of the front few seals, right, and then we see how it goes. Right, so those of you who agree with me, let me know in the comments below, because I really want to hear your thoughts as well. Right, so let's move on to the next question. Right, so next question. I've seen the information regarding the coming ultimate stage, Chaos and his skill. Can you verify or give thoughts about what his skills would be? Thanks. Okay, so Chaos currently have a bit of leak, right, in terms of his play style and stuff like that. Right, so not much is being known or being confirmed, in fact. Right, so what I can say is Chaos will have a team skill together with all the other seal bosses. Right, it's gonna be a mono seal boss team. Alright, so when you guys hear that, I think the number one concern you guys will have will be the team cost. Right, so Chaos himself is a seal boss. Right, as I mentioned, it's a mono seal boss team, meaning that the team cost will be super high, right? So what I know is that Chaos is being played by races, right? Meaning the more races you have in your team, the higher the team multiplier, right? Something like that, right? So Chaos being God, right? You have gods already, so probably slot in Saruman or Diablo for the elf, the 2 serious beasts for beast race. Then we have what else do we have? Yeah, I can't think of much right now. Yog-Sothoth, demon, right? So pretty much it's more of a mix and match of seal bosses, Right, so due to the high amount of team cost, right, me personally, I don't think I'll fit. At my level, I don't think I can even fit a full Steel Boss team, right? With Odin and stuff like that, the team cost is massive. So what I feel that up to now is going to be speculation, so it's not going to be confirmed, right? That their dual chaos is going to have a hidden passive to reduce the team cost, right? Like if the whole team consists of Steel Boss, maybe the team cost minus something, right? Hopefully that's the case. If not, I think this team is going to be very, very limited to like level 500 or 600 plus players, right? Due to team cost, right? So as of now, this is all that I know, right? So let's wait for more information about Chaos, right? Let's move on to the next question. Right, so next question is coming from a veteran player. Right, after playing TOS for 3 to 4 years, what do you think of TOS? What do you think TOS can be improved in terms of user interface, etc.? Like more guild functions, lower mercenary costs for low level players, etc. Right, so over the course of my TOS journey, right, with Madhead, I've actually suggested several types of suggestions to Madhead. Some have been implemented already, some have not. I have suggested some, but is yet to be discussed / confirmed. Right, so one of the few examples of my suggestions to Madhead is the title system. Not that it really affects the game in a large sense, but it's kind of like an achievement, right? Like you do certain things, you unlock this title, right? So which is what we have now, the title system, right? And I've actually suggested something like diamond fragments, right? Like instead of fighting the bi-weekly battles and dropping like craft, dropping just treasure chests, and maybe dropping diamond fragments, right? Like maybe 10 fragments, you get 1 diamond, something like that. But no, didn't happen. Alright, so some did, some did not, right? I've suggested a few more others, but I can't really remember now, right? So as of now, the thing that I've yet to suggest to Madhead, which I think that it is quite useful, right, to most of you guys, I feel. Right, so in terms of user interface, guild functions, right, I find that the amount of the guild gold that you have is now only purchasable for PR material stage that refreshes every patch, which is not much, and also what else? Donations and to level up, right? Basically level up the guild. Right, so what I suggested to Madhead is that using the guild gold, you can actually buy buff for the entire guild. Right, maybe a 1.5 time EXP buff or 1.5 time gold buff for the whole guild for 1 hour, right? And then you can actually just purchase it again for another hour. So in this way, maybe for during guild event, when your whole guild decides, okay, from this time to this time, I'm gonna buy a 1 hour of 1.5 times EXP. So everybody play at that time, and then we'll just earn more EXP together. Right, makes sense, right? It's kind of more of a teamwork thing, and I think many players will benefit from that as well. And if Madhead agrees, maybe stack the 1.5 time EXP buff with the roulette 1.5 time buff if you are lucky, and then boom, massive EXP buff. Right, so this is one of the things that I really hope that Madhead considers and put it into the game, because that really benefits the players and maybe give us some options to spend the guild gold, because it's just there rotting, right? It's just there for us to level up the guild. Right, so let me know if you guys think that whether this is a good thing or a bad thing. Alright, so let's move on to the next question. Alright, so next question is asking which water leader do you think will be getting their amelioration in the next upcoming patches? I'm hoping Abraham. Right, so this is one of the topics that Madhead have been talking about. Right, like they feel that water is the weakest attribute among the 5. Is it? I feel so. Alright, I think so too. Okay, so what Madhead has said will be they'll be buffing, so-called buffing current water leaders. Right, they didn't say who, but they say they will be doing some sort of buff to the existing water leaders. Right, so as this guy mentioned, I'm hoping Abraham. So in my case, I feel that it's not going to be Abraham, because Abraham's gameplay is more of a more defensive kind of gameplay, right? Like Abraham provides this huge amount of recovery, right, and a decent amount of damage. So it's more of a balanced setup whereby you don't really burst too much damage, right? Maybe if you add in Cassandra, maybe Abraham can do a massive amount of damage, right? But the main point of Abraham is the extra combos as well as the massive recovery. So I think Abraham is fine right there, right? So maybe if he get amelioration, good for him. Right, so what I feel that the water leader that is getting amelioration, right, will be Su Huanzhen from the Pili Puppet series. Right, so if you compare jackpot cards, right, from all the past few collabs or patches, right, I feel that Su Huanzhen is a bit lacking, right, in terms of damage. Right, so if you look at Su Huanzhen's leader skill, active skill, he is obviously meant to be a burst kind of setup, right? Being Su Huanzhen at his point of time, right, his damage is not really that fantastic, right? Unless you bring like certain buff cards like Cassandra or maybe Wenzhong doesn't work because heart is equal to water, right? So basically the amount of burst, right, for the amount of burst damage done by Su Huanzhen is not doing him much justice as a jackpot card, I feel. Right, I believe a lot of people agree with me on this point. Right, a lot of Chinese server players have been mentioning about Su Huanzhen being quite weak as a jackpot card. Right, so we'll see how it goes. Right, if he get amelioration, very good. Right, I just hope that he gets some sort of buff. Right, in my opinion. Right, so having said this, let's move on to the next question. Any milestone/goal for this year they have left to achieve for both life and channel? For life, I guess maybe study more, I guess, and graduate from my uni and get the hell out of there. Right, so basically I'm gonna graduate next May, right, and then I'll pretty much be free, get a job and stuff like that. Right, so for channel wise, I don't think I have a goal in the first place, right? As I mentioned a lot of times already, this channel is set up for you guys to have some sort of strategy to take down certain stages, right? I'm not here for any fame or money and stuff like that, right? So I guess I'm quite close to 5,000 subscribers, right? So maybe hitting that, I'll be content enough. Right, so maybe if I hit 5,000 subscribers, right, the time that I hit 5,000 subscribers, I'll do a bit of giveaway, right? So hopefully we'll hit that 5k soon, and maybe I'll start giving out some TOS merchandise. Right, so next question. Can you make a team that hit over 999 combos? Just use Yang Jian or Dipankara. Use Gilgamesh from the Crash Fever collaboration. Use a Greek god, use Zeus, and a PR starter. Ally Pontos or Erebus. Have fun. Alright, so we have come to the last question of the day. So this is one of the more big questions, I would say, among the Q&A session. So I'm going to address it last. Right, so hi Aaron, can you comment more about those who abuse the arena system? Right, so those of you out there who do not know what's going on, right, let me fill in with the story. Right, so basically there is this selected few players, right, which kind of abuse the arena system by setting very very difficult stages, right, so that players that attempt their stage is gonna pretty much have a very low score, right, due to the difficulty of the stage, right, and then at the last part of the arena, like maybe left 1 or 2 hours, right, this guy is gonna change the difficulty to a very easy setup, right? So if you guys don't know, you can actually change your team once every 6 hours or 12 hours, 6 hours, right? And then his fellow friends is gonna refresh the towers until they find this particular person's tower, right, which is the easy tower, and then they attempt it, they get a super high score, and that's how they rack up a very high score for the top 5 high scores of the day, right? And that's how they push themselves up to the ranks, right? So there's a lot of drama going on, like whether this is the right thing to do or not. So to be honest, I don't care, right? So I'm the kind of player that don't really give a damn about arena. Every day, I'm not even on the top 100 list, right? Every day, every week, I end off king, right? Which is, I'm satisfied with that, right? So, just to let you guys know, alright, the way I play arena is that every day I go in, I spend that 5 vigor, I'm done, right? Regardless of what score I have, right? There are times that I kind of have lucky sky drop, or which contributes to the combo score or the final damage score, and I get a score maybe 3.8k or 3.9k. Okay, fantastic, right? So there are times that I screw up really badly. I die once, I die twice in the stage, and I end up maybe with a score of 800. I don't care, right? So once I finish that 5 vigor, that's my top 5 score of the day. That's it. I'm not doing it anymore, right? So with a score of 1002 or 800, right? If I kind of messed up badly, right, and I get that kind of score, I still managed to push myself to at least a legend or king at the end of the week. Right, so for myself, getting 8 to 10 diamonds is enough for me, right? So in my personal opinion, those people who so-called abuse the arena, right, just to get to the top few ranks, I find that there's too much effort, to be honest, right? So maybe those players do that for the diamonds, right? Maybe the top kings get a lot of diamonds, right? But I feel that is it really worth it, right? So there is one very simple way that Madhead can fix this, right? Which is to remove the ability to change the stage difficulty, the stage setup, once your tower has been your tower has been out there, right? That settles the entire issue about this whole arena abusing thing, right? So for me, I have no rights to say those people who abuse the arena, right? Because if Madhead sets the game like this, that's how it is, right? So we'll just have to wait for Madhead to maybe step in to do something, right? So personally, I'm not a fan of people doing that, right? So I know who has been doing it, right? I know certain players are doing it, and then if I see their tower, I'm not attempting it, because I know that they're gonna swap it and then get someone else to score higher, and then I lose a tower. Like, what's the point, right? So I might as well refresh and find other towers, right? So overall, that's their way of playing, right? I don't have a say in it as well, right? So overall, I feel that just do what you feel is right, and then just enjoy the game, right? To me, rank doesn't matter. Rank shouldn't matter to you guys as well, right? Unless you are there for the diamonds. And yeah, hopefully Madhead fix this, right, for a more fair gameplay. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this issue. Alright, so that's about it for this Q&A session. Hopefully you guys have a bit of new info for you guys, and also all the questions that I've been saying, leave your opinions and thoughts in the comments below, right? I really mean it, because I read every single comment, right? As well as the arena abusing situation, right? Let me know if it actually affects you, or whether you have lose a tower, right, because someone changed the stage and stuff like that, right? I want to know what's going on your side as well, right? So overall, this is a very fruitful Q&A session, although there is very little questions due to the time that I post this notification for Q&A session. Right, so hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Right, it's been a great Q&A session. Right, I'm gonna open the Q&A for October very soon. Right, so stay tuned for that. So as of now, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.